Hello everyone, I am Ramek and this is Snapping Before 10. Notoriously, I've been a very good advocate for the Patriot deck, mostly because I love my big stupid beaters and I love Cyclops' animations, plus I love decks that can go wide, especially in this meta where going wide might be really good. So today I present to you Patriot. You're probably wondering, why would you play Patriot in this meta? Shuri goes really big and Thanos just leeches your hand by turn 4 or 5. So why would you play a card like Patriot? Well, if your cards have no abilities by getting leeched, suddenly Patriot gives them all +2 power. And against Shuri, there are a couple of tech cards that can just really skyrocket your win rate if you're running against that specific deck, which I will showcase now in the card by card. First of all, we have Wasp, the 0 energy card that has no abilities, so she's technically a 0 mana free power card. Squirrel Girl, who is basically a 1 mana 7 power card if you have Patriot on the board, as she's spread across all 3 locations. Misty Knight and Shocker are the only non-ability cards you run. Aside, you don't run the Thing, Cyclops, etc. because you just have way better free drops you can play. You can even put Silver Surfer in the deck. It's just a really malleable deck where you can just take out a bunch of pieces and add a couple of others, but I'll show you some other techs a bit later. Mystique is really good with almost all the cards in the deck, and I have this great variant to show off. The name of the deck, Patriot. Cosmo to stop the people who want to do stupid wand combos, but sometimes Cosmo can also really screw you over if you're up against the Shuri player. Then we have Debris to beat any and all Galactus players. Then we have Khazar to buff all the rocks, the Misty Knights, the Squirrels, Blue Marvel to just buff our entire board, and our 2 win conditions. Dr. Doom, whose Doom bots have no abilities on them, so they're buffed by Patriot, and Ultron's drones, who also have the same text. Since Marvel's Snap makes it quite inconvenient to show off a side deck, I think I should talk about some options you can run. Because currently in the meta, we're up against Thanos and Shuri most of the time, so you need a way to deal with Shuri. I have a great card to showcase here, that being Valkyrie. If you play Valkyrie while you have an ongoing card and they have all 4 of the spots in their location filled, you instantly win if you have any ongoing effect that gives your cards power, as she sets all of them to free, so Blue Marvel just instantly wins you that locations if you have Valkyrie in there. But Shuri might be your worst matchup. There are a few ways you can beat them. They just put a lot of stuff onto the board, so if you're looking for a deck to beat Shuri specifically, I would not recommend playing Patriot right now. But if you want a deck that can beat Galactus, have a really good win rate against Thanos, etc., I think you should give Patriot a try. So without further ado, let's get into the games and see how the deck performs. We draw a Mantis 1, rough. But at least we drew, I think, a very playable hand here. Honestly, not knowing what my opponent is running, I think we should snap, as our hand is looking quite good. We have Mystique, Patriot, Khazar, Dr. Doom, and Squirrel Girl. Plenty of power to go everywhere. The fact our opponent did not leave makes me think they have something over there. They're cooking up. I will not I should probably Squirrel Girl right now, as I don't see a turn where I'll be able to play her. As I'll Patriot, then Mystique, then Khazar, then Dr. Doom. We have a really telegraphed play pattern now, but it does not really matter. Oh, it's up against Shuri, isn't it? Okay then. That's completely fine with us. We'll Patriot on the mid lane. Then we'll Mystique on left. Captain America. I don't think he'll Enchantress his Captain America. There's some part of me that just doubts it. Oh, so he'll try to go for the Professor X right now, won't he? Then take it. Go. Professor X to the mid lane. I don't care. This game is over. Dr. Doom Take us home. The fact that the opponent snapped makes me really wonder what they're thinking right now. Like, the destroyer left doesn't do anything. Their Doctor Doom loses to our Doctor Doom. They only have 2 cards to play. Onslaught doesn't do it either. Like, I don't understand what's the win condition here. Nimrod into something? I don't know. I really don't see a way we can lose. And the fact that they snap means they're trapped here with us. They can't leave. Yep, they have 2 cards in hand. I really don't. We drew amazingly off Lamentis one. Like, not even a Shang-Chi left will be enough. Not even Killmonger. I'm thinking of so many things. Okay then. You can't glitch your way out of this. You're dead, dude. Spectrum. Okay then. That's an 8 win in the second game for Patriot. Against an ongoing Destroyer deck, I presume. Up against Taz, who's a bit of a scientist. We have opened horribly, but the Quantum Realm is a great location for Patriot decks. The Kiln is also completely fine. Although we do have a bit of a problem. We did not draw Patriot, but we did draw Blue Marvel Khazar Ultron, which is sometimes the FTK as people call them. Seeing the armor here, I think I know what I'm up against. This is Shuri. The Nexus might be game-losingly bad, as we do not have a lot of ways to provide a lot of power onto one singular location. If the opponent plays, he'll play the Sunspot on Kiln. Okay then. I will most definitely debris here on the Kiln. Dracula. Okay. If I Blue Marvel here, the fact we didn't draw Patriot is quite rough. But I don't understand what my opponent's real... Oh, I understand. His deck is that... what's it called? Yeah, it's the old Zero list I've been running. I remember this deck quite fondly. It plays the Infinite. He'll have to get lucky here, and I'm willing to go for the Luck Sack as well. If he Red Skulls here, we still die, I think. If he drew it, of course. Let's see. Wow! He really won the 50-50 and drew Red Skull. Our opponent had just an amazing hand. There's not much we can do here, and we also did not draw Patriot, and the Nexus is probably our worst location, bringing our wins of cubes from 8 to 6. Up against Kurai, we draw Squirrel Girl, Cosmo, and Patriot. This hand is really decent. The Kiln is a great location for Patriot decks, as we can usually just put Patriot up there on turn 4 or 3 to suddenly make him uninteractable. Nidavellir is an amazing also location for Patriot. This is looking maybe like a snap, but I do not think I should snap that early. Well, what the hell, why not? We're already on a winning streak. I'll continue. We have 6 cubes won already. Let's see if we can get some more. Our opponent is playing another armor. That's 3 games in a row of just armoring up on the second turn. And people are wondering why no one wants to play Destroy decks nowadays. I'll play Debris here. I have snapped already, so let's continue. That is completely fine with us. We'll play the Patriot here. Our opponent is probably playing good stuff, deck or Shuri. This is looking like a Shuri deck since I have seen Polaris. Indeed, and the Shuri is our worst matchup. Really hammering home how much we cannot beat that deck. But if we can get priority right now, there is a big chance of victory. So, I'll play Blue Marvel into Wasp. If we gain priority right now, we win. Because their Taskmaster is useless against us. Because we run Cosmo. I hope our opponent snaps. And this play now really doesn't matter. Okay. That is completely fine. Let's see if my strategy proves fruitful. Cosmo. Bringing a negate to the Taskmaster, and that is probably an easy 8 cubes for the Patriot. Bringing our total wins up to 14 cubes in 3 games. So, the Patriot performed very well, seeing as we have gotten over 20 cubes in games outside of the ones I have recorded. So, I think I can give you the pros and cons of the deck. First, I'll give you the pros, and that is that the deck is almost very simple to play. You can just play Squirrel Girl, Misty Knight, Shocker, as the cards have no abilities, no very intricate play patterns, and that's sometimes just the way I like them. Second of all is a very good matchup against Galactus if you open Debris. If you open Debris or Cosmo, usually you just win those matchups. But if the Galactus player opens really well and they just go into Electro, Dr. Octopus, or the Electro Leech, sometimes you may lose those matchups, but most of the time you win against them, and just try to not snap early if you're not very sure or you don't have Debris if you think they're on Galactus. And third of all, deck's cheap. All you need is Patriot and Ultron. All the other cards are replaceable. You can even replace Doctor Doom, as he's really not the best Patriot card ever, as that's Ultron, and Patriot of course, but the deck is also very malleable. You can play all the Cyclopses, you can put in Silver Surfer if you have them. There's just so much stuff you can run in Patriot to make it a Patriot hybrid deck, there's a Patriot Sarah deck. There are so many versions of Patriot you can play, and all of them have all one thing in common, and that's that they're very good. And now for the cons of the deck. First of all, the deck can brick like high heaven. Sometimes you just run into a problem of you not drawing Blue Marvel, Khazar, Patriot, or any of your low or your high-end stuff like Doctor Doom and Ultron, so you just end up sitting like an idiot and hoping your opponent just bricked as badly as you did. And, well, the most obvious problem is without Valkyrie, you have really no way of dealing with Shuri. I know I have showcased a game where I won 8 cubes because the opponent was very predictable, and the point is, you have to sometimes lull your opponent into thinking you aren't running Cosmo or something like that, and you need to gain priority over them in the final turn to just pop the Cosmo and get the Taskmaster off. And that is like the only thing you can probably do against Shuri, but if they're also gonna just pass turn and play Arrow, She-Hulk, you might be dead as well. And third of all, the deck gets kinda dull very fast as there's only one singular play pattern, and that's playing Misty Knight, then playing Shocker, Patriot, Debris, Khazar, Blue Marvel, Doctor Doom, or Ultron. Like it's just a very simple deck, but a very good deck that has gotten me over 24 cubes, and I've climbed to infinite with it in this season, in the previous seasons, and it's probably one of my most favorite decks. So I think I would recommend Patriot a lot, and if you find him ever in your shop, make sure to give the All Patriot 1,000 credits, and maybe he'll carry you to infinite. So without further ado, that was today's episode of Snapping Before 10. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the SnapMania.